let's start in with some of the greens. Now, this particular leaf right here has kind of a mint color. I was going to use white. I'm trying to save my white. So to tie this color into some other areas, I want to use it as the highlight part of that particular leaf. So we're just going to go in and put that in nice and smooth. And we use our other greens. This is a very dark, you know, hold your pencil up to it and see if that's the one. I think this is going to be too dark. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and fill the rest of the leaf in with this lighter green, and then I'm going to put the darker green on, leaving these striations. So I'm just putting a base coat of green down. And what's going to make this light show up is this background, you know, like we've been talking about. Then I'm going to go to my darker green. That's black. Okay. And there's like a little stripe in the center. So we're going to go around that and burnish in, leaving that little white line there. If you want it to show up a little bit more, you can take that lighter color that you used on the outsides, or just go back to your lighter green and put that in. And on this particular leaf, it's so small, but if you look at your picture, there are 2 white lines, possibly 3. But you know, just do, you know, the ones that you want to do. And then right next to that, you're just following the pattern. This is a very, very dark green space. So I'm going to outline that and burnish that in really dark. If it doesn't end up getting dark enough with my greens, remember you can use your black right on top. Which I think I might, especially up underneath this, and then just kind of shade it down into that space. Kind of a gradual place. Now this is part of a leaf that is in, it's highlighted. And so we're going to use the light green, especially for the front part, as a base color. And then I'm just going to fade it back. Then we use the dark green from underneath this leaf here. And it actually has like a stripe in the leaf towards the front. And there's a curve right here, which means this leaf is casting a shadow on it, right? So these are really tiny little details. Look at your picture. You're going to see that. And then you can take your black and kind of come in the corner and blend that in. But you want this one, this section here, to be darker than this one, right? So it looks like far back, middle, and then this leaf is on top, right? Which actually this petal of the flower is on top, but you see how that goes. Okay, so then we're going to go to this, or let's just go into this dark space next to it. So we're going to go with our dark green. Oh no. I hate when that happens. Okay. And we're just going to go ahead, and as we're doing these, we are burnishing, right? You're kind of pushing into the surface of the paper, getting it nice and dark, nice and crisp edges. So when you're doing edges, make sure your pencil's nice and sharp. And it'll get dull as you come down and fill in these spaces. And then look at your picture. Now that you got that filled in, this kind of comes up to the surface, but over in this corner, it is definitely darker. So we're going to go along here and add in these super darks, which is just adding black on top of the green, making it the ultimate dark green. And then just softly blending it into the rest of that green. You're just kind of doing a gradation effect kind of thing. If you can't get that, oh, this is the dark green. You can always go back with the dark green on top of the black, right? So see how you're building up these transitions of colors? So I'm going to go in with, which green is this one? Have I even used this? That's very bright. I think this one is going to be more towards it. So we're going to go into this leaf, and then there is a leaf going this way, and we're going to do it the lightest color. This is very yellow right along the center, and right here it's a little bit lighter. It probably should be this kind of cool color that we started with. I like it. Oh yeah, look at that. And we're going to put that in and use our dark greens for the rest. This is probably going past my line, but you know, I'd rather it be in there and not need it than to not be finished when it's over, kind of thing. So now I'm going to go in with my dark green, and that's going to go in right here. And what that's going to do is create a shadow of these two leaves here on top of this one. So even though it is, you should still be able to see that lighter green through the middle. So I'm just going to kind of add that back in a little bit. And right at the corner here, it is, you know, it's black. So let's put a little black there. Now I know that these color pencil projects are getting a little harder and harder. A little more detailed and stuff, so I want y'all to have fun doing them, so don't give up or anything. They just get amazing with how much detail and how much everything you can get done with colored pencil. It's amazing. I hope y'all didn't have as much trouble with the background on the gecko as I did. And then jump in with this black on this one. Look, it's right here. This is green back here, but it's black right there next to this other leaf that's happening. So we're going to come in here, put the black, blend it out, both sides. Probably going to have to get the green and blend it in. There is a little black up here, like this petal is creating a little bit of a shadow on the top up there. And it doesn't have a crisp line like that. It's blended out, so let's soften that line a little bit. And then we're going to go back to the green and blend this black in the middle green. Now I have a light green, a middle green, a dark green, and then black. So that's the colors I'm going with. Anytime there's a really sharp highlight or whatever, I'm going to go back to this sage kind of color, but it's not going to be part of my regular greens for these leaves here. So this one is solid dark green because this big leaf is on top, and it comes in here, and then this is one leaf. This and this is the two sides of that leaf. And this side is actually got a little bit of light on the outer edge. And then most of the rest of this is dark. And dark green and black. And there is a little tiny white section. I don't know what that could possibly be, unless it's just the way light perfectly went through and is shining on that leaf, but I've already done it dark green, so I'm just going to go ahead and keep it as it's in the dark because of my white situation. Well, this will take you a little bit of time, guys. So I'm not expecting it to be done right away or anything. So if it ends up taking you more than 2 weeks, then please feel free to just take however long you need to do it. So I'm putting out a little bit more than what I think we're going to need for the year. Because I'd rather have too much than not enough. Okay, so I hope y'all can see these details of these leaves and the little shadows that they cast and the little highlights that they have, and you're just going to keep working on them and filling in all of the leaf area. And then I'm going to, this leaf goes on top. So there should be a black right in there. And then blend that over. There we go. There is a line, and then there's a light right next to it, and it's pretty light. So since we're going to be blending down, I'm going to go ahead and use that one, and then the rest of this is definitely a green. The tips of these two are going over into this space, is what this is, and then that's pretty dark underneath. So this one, we're burnishing with color. I mean, there's a little bit of white, but instead of the colorless blender, I want y'all to learn to do, you know, all of those things with all the different techniques there are for for color pencil. Get rid of this white. I don't know why I had it in my hand, actually. There is a tiny highlight. We're going back to that sage. Right here on the edge of this leaf with that really dark next to it. So I'm just going to put it on the outside of this leaf that I've already made. And then I'm going to put the dark green right here on the top of it. So it still looks like a highlight, but it's definitely blended in. Tissue, there it is. I think it needed a second coat. And then this area here is like super dark. So that's going to make that highlight just really show up. This is not actually a leaf, I don't think. It's just background. And there is a shadow onto this space. And then this leaf goes to the lighter side. So we're going to go back to our brightest green. This particular leaf has this little brown spot. Y'all want to do that? It's just a little brown spot with a yellow spot in the middle. You know, feel free to do that. You don't want to put the bright green all the way across this leaf because you couldn't get dark enough for the dark areas, right? So you let your lights go just in the highlight areas. Hope y'all remember that. Lots of buildup of color. Lots and lots of buildup of color. It's a little bit lighter on the outside, but it's not really this super light green. Actually, I'm going to do the light green, and then I'm going to put the medium green on top of it. So it kind of tones it down a little bit. But it is definitely brighter color there. And this is the color I need to finish this. Okay. This leaf right here kind of turns in, so this side is darker than this side, but there are some little, there are some little striations in this leaf. So you can come in and just put some little stripes of the dark on the lighter side, and then stripes of the black on the darker side. So you can kind of see those little marks. And then this petal is casting a little bit of a shadow on top of here. Softly fanning out. To that darker green. Burnish it in. Okay, now I hope y'all see how long that's taking me to do, and but I want you to fill up the area that is part behind, you notice I've only got a couple of leaves, and then the rest of that's going to be background. And then finish up the leaves through here, and then the rest of this is going to be the background. So keep following the pattern that you see in your pictures. Just follow that pattern out, and you're going to have a really good, really cool piece here. Oh, that's 3 times. The dark green must be broken. So I'm trying not to sharpen it all the way, but I want to separate these 2 leaves, and so I'm just drawing a light line. I mean a thin line. It's not light actually. That should be the medium color. There we go. Okay. So, see how cool this is looking? I can't wait to see what you guys are doing with that. And we're going to go ahead and start in on the black background. And I'm just going to use my dark green. Oh boy, I hope this lasts. Because I don't want to just do it black. So what I was going to do is, see how dark this is? And I thought if it was really dark around this, that it would just, you know, really make that flower just super, super pop. And if I only get around so far, guys, you know, to finish yours, I have, you can see how many times this dark green has broken on me. There was one that fell on the floor. Don't want it to smush into the carpet. So I am literally going to oval around this. Oh no, don't break. Around this flower. Try not to go in where you're going to want your pink with the green, because that'll just make a dark muddy color. But I can lift that out. And we're just going to burnish this out. And if you want to do a you know, that kind of vignetted background where, you know, it's dark next to the project, to the object of interest, and then gets lighter as it comes out. Like out in here, it could turn into, you know, a cream color, or even this cool color in the middle there. That would be fine as well, so that you don't use up all of your one color, or if you have a color like this that's keeps breaking. So that would be like this. So you're going to start dark next to your project, and then slowly fade that out. It's going to be darker next to here as well. We'll scratch in the paper, so go to a corner and fill it in. And I think that may be what I have to do for this particular project. It could come out to kind of a creamy yellow, or that mint color would be really pretty. Sage. So that may just be the option that I do, other than doing the black. So I wanted to come in right next to the artwork, just ever so slightly. Anywhere it's getting really, you know, like close to the face, and put the black in right next to the flower itself. It's just gonna make it pop like crazy. So sorry about that. Quick little pause. wiggling in the pencil. I have a feeling it's going to pop off here any second. Oh, darn it. That's 4 times. Okay. Because I'm running out of product to teach this lesson, I'm going to show you this little part right here, which I would want you to do all the way around. If you run out of product, I understand. Don't worry about it. And there isn't any reason, too, that you can't go from a dark green here to a lighter green or brighter green or whatever. But I've kind of gone a little more than my hour time already for our class. And usually in class, I only give a 20-minute demo or whatever, and then y'all go work on it, and I come around and help. So this is so weird for me to be doing all these projects, but it is fun. I like art, obviously. So we're just lightly going away from our flower. And I just didn't want this to be so close to this petal and this one to be so close to this petal. I want it to kind of fade off a little bit more than that. And then I'm going to come in and show you the blacks next to the object of interest here. See if I can get that to blend a little bit softer. Holding your pencil, picking it up this way. Going oval, oval, oval is just going to help you to do that. You can always, if you get any kind of lines or something like that, just go back in and burnish with the color that you had before, and it'll push that black back a little bit. And that's the way your background is going to look. If you don't want this soft pencil on the outside, please don't break. I was wanting to get rid of that dark dot. If you don't want this kind of cloudy look for the outer part of your background and stuff, then you can, okay, whatever. We're done with that color. Then you can take another color and burnish it into the project. You know what I'm saying? Like, pick another color, or you can use your colorless blender, or you can use, whatever you want to. Now this is the Prismacolor Colorless Blender, but I want y'all to hear how this scratches the surface of the paper. Do y'all hear that? It's like picking up some of the pigment, and see how it's displacing it here like this? It's not actually blending it into the surface of the paper at all, and it may just need to be that you add 2 colors. So I like the way that this one's getting lighter, so we could actually just come in and burnish 2 colors, and that's going to be better anyway. This project was about burnishing with color, so just go ahead and do your background without this colorless blender, which is trash. Sorry about that. That's the way I feel. I just chose this particular green because that colorless blender was turning this green into that color anyway. And just oval, oval, oval. And if you end up trimming your paper a little bit smaller for this one, I'm fine with it. So I'm going to come on out. You can even go with another color to take it out farther. So if you wanted to do, I don't know, maybe a yellow or a cream. I don't know about cream. Cream would dull the brightness of that green, and it's a pretty bright picture. So bring out some of this color. Let me sharpen that real fast. Bring out some of this color softly, like this. You want a little bit of color down first before you blend anyway. We have to, this is where the colorless blender kind of scratched the surface and stuff, is what it is. But then if you go with a yellow, so let's see what this is, canary. Yep. Then you can, it just kind of gives you a gradual color going from yellow, yellow-green, dark green to black. And it makes for a pretty picture to do that too. So I'm going to let y'all choose what colors you want to do your gradation for the background in that piece. But because I'm running out of white and my green keeps breaking and everything else, I am so sorry. This normally doesn't happen. But I love the way this is working out. I love the flower too. But anyways, so I can't wait to see what you guys do. Download this picture, draw it off however you want to, lay down in some basic washes, and then come back with all of these on top, and they'll blend even better for you color wise. Just to put a light coat of a color down and then put the dark on top, it's like you want two colors to blend together instead of just trying to blend one color into the white of the paper, because that's not going to work with the colorless blender. So I hope you have fun doing the lilies that I got for Easter. Aren't they pretty? And send me pictures of what you do. I can't wait to see what all you do. I hope you can see our project well, and I'll see you guys next time. Actually, this is our last lesson. So sad, and everything kept breaking. Oh well. Thanks, guys.